All right, so Powerhouse was nice enough to send over one of their new regs. This is actually the Generation 2 reg. So let's just jump right into it. So the box itself is just, it's a box. I mean, I'm actually gonna hold on to this, and the reason why is when you open it up, it's got a very plush top. It's kind of spongy. And it actually has a housing for the reg itself. The reason why I want to keep this is when you travel, you have to unscrew your reg off of your tank so that the TSA can look inside if you're traveling on a plane and you check your bag. And I just don't want my reg bouncing around and ruining itself, essentially. You can see, I'm going to be doing a comparison. You can see how beat up my Ninja reg is. I've actually had this one for a little while. So, but yeah, so this is just a really cool feature that they definitely put some thought into. So it's just cool what they had done. Before we jump into the actual reg itself, something else that I really like is that they include the Allen key that you need to take it apart. I'm going to be showing you that in a second. And an additional O-ring. So it's just a cool feature to have this. It doesn't cost them a lot, but it is something cool that they've included. So then we also have our regulator guide and just a warning on the back, just to basically screw it in correctly and all of that. So first, the reg itself. It has a micro gauge, which is really nice that it's not going to be jabbing into you. And the fill actually fills directly into the tank. There's no like routing or anything. Basically, the reason why they did this, if you guys have ever played in like the NXL or some of the larger leagues, the fill stations are real intense. So when they fill, it's a really harsh fill, and that way you're not going to blow anything inside your reg. It just goes directly into the tank, and then you don't have to worry about it. So it's just a cool feature, yeah, so that's really all there is to talk about it on the outside. It does feel like it is heavier, but we're going to be doing a weight test in a second, so that way we can see exactly the differences between definitely one of the leaders on the market, which is Ninja, but I think that this one's going to be giving it a run for its money, and I'll be explaining why. Like I said, it has the micro gauge, the flat burst disc, which is a nice addition because, again, it's just something that's not going to get in the way, whereas the Ninja ones are just the larger ones, which these will work on here. So if you do happen to blow this one, you can swap it out for one of the kind of traditional ones, and it's going to still work. It just makes it a really nice profile, so that way it's not anything sticking out extra than it needs to. I just realized there's a fist on there. That's cool. It's the little things, right? All right, so let's bring the camera down. All right, so first up, we will go with the Ninja reg. This is just their pro reg, if I remember correctly. This isn't any special one or anything like that. But it is the Ninja gauge. I did have to swap it out because the gauge, like I said, I've had this one for a while. You can see all the scratches and all that on it. So I know that this is a very old scale, but this is all that I could get, so please forgive me for that one. But anyways, so we'll take our Ninja reg, put it on top, and it looks like, let me get it more head on so we can see this better. It looks like it's about 5.5 ounces. So it's not heavy by any means. So it's only about 5.5 ounces. So that is our Ninja reg, which has become kind of the go-to for a lot of players nowadays. So let's try Powerhouse reg. So the Powerhouse reg, we'll just put that right on top. And it's like 5.25 ounces. So it's not a stupid amount lighter, but it is lighter than the Ninja reg. Okay, so let's just do a quick comparison of the length itself. So we can just look at the top first, if you see there. So it has a pin rather than the ball system. I'm going to explain why I like this pin a little bit more in a second. And then the difference is, so you can see the flow rate is going to be a little bit better with the Powerhouse, actually a lot better. You can see how much larger the port is there for the air to go through. They both do have the anti-launch feature, though. You can see that notch in there. So that way, if for some reason your reg started to come out of your tank and it starts ripping the threads, it's going to release the air out of there and not turn it into a missile, which is definitely a good thing. So what we're going to do is actually go from the bottom of where the tank would screw into so we can see that difference. And just want to get it lined up there. So you can see that the Powerhouse reg is longer. I think overall they are the same length from that point if you went from the top of the reg to the bottom of the reg. But when you screw it into your tank, it's going to be more like that. So it is going to be a little bit longer. Personally, I like that. I like to have a little bit longer of a setup. It helps with having more control over your shot. Okay, so let's get into some of the cool features of the reg itself. All you need is this one Allen key that they give you. So first thing I wanted to show you was actually that this is all adjustable up here. So rather than having to deal with like mine, I always had to, my old Ninja, I used to have to deal with the fill nipple always jabbing into my wrist. Once you screw this onto your gun, this is the recommended way to do it. You screw it onto your gun and then you adjust it from there. But I'm just going to show you how you would do it. Let's say that you already have your tank on here and you already have this on your gun, and let's say it's this way and you want it to be where the fill nipple is down, so that way it's easier to fill. You don't have to turn your gun upside down to fill, and also you can see the gauge real well. All you need to do is loosen these top screws here. Use this end first. Okay, and all you need to do is literally just rotate it around. Now, you guys can't hear this because it's going to be very tough to hear, but there actually is a little, a couple notches that go around inside there that it is literally clicking in between. So there's no issue with it, you know, having slipping or whatever. Once you lock it into that spot, it's going to be exactly in there. The other cool thing that you can't see here, but inside of there is actually where the set screw goes into. So again, it's not just pressing against metal, it's going into a little notch, so that way it's not going to be spinning around. So let's say that now we found where, you know, we want it to be. If you want to have it upside down, you could. I wouldn't recommend that, but that's the good thing, is that it's customizable, so that way you can set it however you would like. Once you find that, you would put the set screws back in and then tighten them down. I actually want to take the whole thing apart so that way you guys can see it. To actually take apart the reg, you are going to loosen these 3 screws that are in the middle section here. And once you get them loose, you will go ahead and take them out. The good thing is that they are exactly the same set screws for the top and bottom. So you don't have to worry about remembering which goes where. They're gonna work no matter what. So it's gonna be 6 in total. So it's not real difficult at all. This isn't something that you need to be doing on the field, so it's not like it needs to be toolless, and it's not difficult to take these apart. So all you need to do then is just start unscrewing it. That top piece comes off, so we can set that off to the side, and then we have the actual reg itself. Now, what's another cool thing is that, see if I can't get close there, the pin itself, the spring is attached to it. So you don't have to worry about trying to balance anything on top of there and then fitting it into the right spot. So it has a nice shape to it as well, so that the air is going to be able to go around it very easily. Okay, and then if you wanted to swap out your reg for a low pressure or high pressure, the red is low pressure, the blue is your high pressure. Now, the difference is, if I can get it close enough, you guys can see it there. You can see how the blue has a thicker ridge and then the red has a thinner one. So the red is your low pressure, blue is your high pressure. So it's a real easy fix. It's not like you need to worry about moving shims around or anything like that. And also what's cool is that they have a wave spring. So it's just a cool design. And it's gonna last for a long time. So you don't need to worry about having any issues with that. So this is something that you wouldn't be able to know unless you were actually using it. But you guys see that little ball right there? So that's just like a little ball, that little ball bearing essentially. And that actually locks into, you see those notches in there. And those notches are gonna help it with just kind of like being right where it needs to be. Also, you can see here that even if somehow maybe it came a little bit loose, your set screw would have to be out completely for this to unscrew all the way. It's going to stop itself at one point. So it's just a cool feature. So I'm going to put this back. I am using a MacDef Prime, which they recommend having a low pressure. So I'm going to take my low pressure reg, and the O-rings still look fine, so I'm not going to add any extra lubricant. If you are going to add any extra lubricant to a regulator, you need to make sure that it is 100% synthetic. I would still hold on to this because you never know what happens in the off season when you need to change sponsors or whatever, and it's just good to have a backup. So that has its own little section in the box right there. So I'll just put that right back in there. So we have our low pressure. I'm gonna put the spring right back in there. And that way it is ready to go. What I like too is that it doesn't move, so you don't have to worry about lining anything up. Again, there's those notches, so we're just gonna put it right over the top, and all of that should line up right there. Oh, and the secret word for the giveaway, which you guys need to type in the comments down below. I want you to tell me your favorite junk food. I want you tell me what's your favorite junk food, and then just say entered. It'll confuse everyone unless they've seen the video, so I think it'll be great. So yeah, so once you get this all set, you will get your set screws. Ha, I didn't mean to make a joke there. So you'll get your set screws and put them in there. Now you don't need to like Hulk smash them into there, but you do want them to be a little bit tight. But yeah, you don't need to like really like rah and get it in there. All right, and then you just want to go through and kind of tighten them down. Just kind of hand tight is good. It doesn't need, like I said, it doesn't need to be Hulk smashed. Marvel, don't sue me. All right, and that is the reg itself. So overall, it's a really nice reg. I really like that it is longer, gives you that better control over your gun, but it's not too much longer that you're going to feel like you're holding a rifle, but it is going to help you with it being a little bit longer there. Also, the miniature gauge is really, really nice, which, yeah, that's just nice that it's not going to be super bulky, and also that it's adjustable, and so you can rotate it down so that way you don't have to worry about cracking that screen. Again, the flow rate is going to be awesome. It's going to instantly recharge, so that way you're getting a very consistent output pressure, because it's going to be able to take in a lot of air there. Also, when it's filling, you're going to be able to not have to worry about blowing your reg or whatever from those really harsh fills. I mean, it's an awesome reg. It's one that I know AC Dallas has been using. There's a couple other pro teams. AC Dallas I know is one that comes to mind, that they're like an official Powerhouse team. Oh, the Palm Beach Vipers have been using them as well. And I know Ken, the coach and owner of the Palm Beach Vipers, isn't going to be giving his players garbage. He's going to make sure that they're going to be getting some quality gear. So he wants to make sure that they are doing everything exactly what they need to, so that way they can be the most successful possible. So I know that Greg Pauly is the same way with AC Dallas, so he's not going to be giving them garbage. So for them to switch over to these regs is it's a good testament to Powerhouse. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. You can order these from NextGen. That's the company that makes them. So nextgenmfginc.com. I'll put the link somewhere over here, so that way you're able to go ahead and order one. They're only about $90 to like $100, so they're very, very reasonable. It's going to be something that lasts, so you don't have to worry about like swapping things out or anything like that. They do actually, I forgot to mention, they do test these. They assemble them by hand, and then they test them for 24 hours before they send them out. So just make sure that it's the correct output pressures and all of that. The other thing is for you to win your own. Again, you already, I'm trying to point at you, you already have heard the secret word, so make sure to put that in the comments down below, and that way you'll be entered. I'll be doing the drawing at some point. I'll put the exact date. I can't remember exactly what the date is going to be, so when I go back and edit this, I can put it around here in the video somewhere. Some of you guys maybe are enjoying not seeing my face, so thanks a lot, jerks. And also, what I'll do is, as a second prize, so I have one of these to give away. Second prize is going to be this actual Exalt mat. I'm grateful to Exalt. I mean, I used to work with them, so I still have a great relationship with those guys. They put out quality products, so they actually sent me this, and I can actually do a giveaway with it. So I am going to be giving this away as basically like second place. So first place will be the reg, and then second place will be the Exalt mat itself. Like I said, overall, great reg, and I'm excited to get using it. I know that the AC Dallas guys like theirs, and Palm Beach like theirs, so I haven't heard anything negative from either of those teams, and I have friends on those teams, so I would have heard something. Yeah, so have you guys used one of these? Other than putting the secret word to win one, what's your opinion on it? But as always, thank you for watching, and Watch, learn, win. Thanks.